I didn't get time to get my slides up. I'll get it for next time. On the horse evolution, which has been discredited many years ago by many experts in this field of horse evolution.
You're supposed to ask me a question.
A question now.
I'm supposed to ask you a question?
Yes.
Okay. We'll start at the beginning of my list. Where did time, space, matter, and energy come from?
29 black, please, first. First of all, looking at his questions, most of these have very little to do with the theory of evolution. And this is another case of Hovind redefining things and setting up straw men. I don't believe in the theory of evolution. I provisionally accept the overwhelming evidence from anatomy, molecular biology, paleontology, and geography. Anyway, I'll give you a threefer. Where did space for the universe come from? Matter and the laws. Well, what are laws? They're just descriptive generalizations. They don't have to come from anywhere. They work down to the earliest 10 to the minus 43 second of time, and that's good enough for me because science does not deal with ultimate causes. Space and time are created as the universe expands, and some physicists propose some sort of huge virtual particle, which is a little out of my realm of expertise. However, a great discussion of this is by an evangelical Christian named Dr. Hugh Ross, and I would encourage you to pick up his book at the Berean bookstore. It's a pretty neat example of creation ex nihilo, which Hovind supposedly espouses, and except for the time frame, it's consistent with Hovind's creation account. It's very improbable, but it only had to happen once, and we live in a world of improbable events. All of you are improbable events when you consider the number of sperm, 50 million per cubic centimeter, that can fertilize an egg. And yet, here you are.
Want to ask a question?
1 minute to respond.
1 minute to respond. Oh, okay. To follow the sequence here. I don't think you answered the question. Where did time, space, matter come from, except to beg the question and say, we're here. If I understood what you said. Let me show you what the argument is. The word evolution not only has two different meanings when it comes to biological evolution. There are several other types of evolution. The evolutionist believes, and I can show you from hundreds of textbooks if you'd like, we can show you all this, and I've got them with me in the computer, take me a minute to find them. The evolutionist believes 20 billion years ago there was a Big Bang. Or some say 16, some say 18. Okay, the point is, a long time ago there was a Big Bang. They do not tell us where the time, where the space, where the matter came from. They also don't tell us where the energy came from. The whole idea behind a black hole is that you can get so much mass in one place that even light cannot escape. But if you had all the mass in the universe in one place, how could it explode? How could anything escape? Where did this mass come from? Where did the energy come from? Where did the laws come from? Then, they say 4.6 billion years ago, the Earth cooled down and developed a hard rocky crust. And it rained on these rocks for millions of years, turned them into soup, and the soup came alive 3 billion years ago.
Time.
That's religion. That's a fairy tale. Thank you.
You say that the Earth's magnetic field was getting weaker with time, and that it was 20 times as strong in Adam and Eve's time. What is your evidence for this?
Ever since Gauss first measured the Earth's magnetic strength, it has been observed that the magnetic field is getting weaker. I don't know the numbers. I have them in a book. I can look them up for you if you want the precise numbers. But it's been observed the magnetic field is getting weaker. This was a problem. So one of the things that was done was the mid-Atlantic ridge, magnometer was dragged across the ridge, and they noticed there were magnetic anomalies. Now, when it shows up in the textbook, it says there are magnetic reversals at the bottom of the ridge. This is absolutely a lie. There are no magnetic reversals at the bottom of the mid-Atlantic ridge or any place in the world. There is no place on the bottom of the ocean where a north-seeking compass will point south. There are places of stronger and weaker magnetism. So what happened was they noticed strong magnetism, weak magnetism, strong magnetism, weak magnetism, all pointed north. But they drew a line through the middle of this S-curve and said the ones below the line are south-seeking. Absolutely not true. There is no place on the mid-Atlantic ridge where a north-seeking compass will point south. I think there's a better explanation for why we have the weaker areas of magnetism at the bottom of the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. I think that's one of the places where the fountains of the deep broke open during the flood, and the basalt bulged up and cracked. And hot basalt loses its magnetism. Cold basalt stores its magnetism. And so the water rushing into these cracks cooled off the basalt, and you have areas of strong magnetism, weak magnetism, strong magnetism, weak magnetism, indicating the cracks in the earth, but none of them are reversals. I defy anybody to show me one of those. So the magnetic field is declining. That's all we've observed. If the evolutionist wants to believe, and I'll give that a capital B because that's part of a religion, if they want to believe that this indicates the earth is billions of years old because they've reversed over time, I would challenge them to show me a place where they're reversed and show me a mechanism that could possibly reverse the magnetic field of the earth. What on earth could do that? It's never been observed. All we've seen is it's declining. I stand by the scientific evidence that indicates it's declining. It's probably not billions of years old.
Okay. You can go on to the next one. I think you pretty much summarized that one up. Okay, the evidence of the Earth's magnetic dipole decaying is based on some pretty horrible measurements that are extrapolated into an exponential graph when what they really fit is a straight line a lot better. These are the only actual measurements, and a guy named Thomas Barnes concocted a ridiculous scale related to that. Next, please. The Earth's magnetic field is not a simple dipole. There are areas over the Earth where there are parts of high flux and parts of areas of low flux. And no, we don't know exactly what causes everything in the way of magnetic reversals, but there are plenty of areas where they've been documented. Here's what one of these striped areas looks like. Next, please. This is the remnant magnetism along the west coast of North America, and there are clear areas of regular and reverse polarity. And one more, I believe. The magnetic theory of Barnes. Okay, sorry.